and welcome to the Musical Chairs Podcast, the only podcast that invites you to pull up a chair and take a listen. Now I'm on my way to perform with Los Improviachis, which is my improvised mariachi band. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Los Improviachis. I'll put a link down below as well. So we're going to be rocking Garfield Park and, doing some improvised mariachi stuff and getting crazy with the cheese whiz and with the queso. And yours truly will be hopefully making a lot of people happy and singing a lot of songs. I'm also looking forward to this thing that they have this game. It's called Mat Croquet, which is croquet played with bowling balls and sledgehammers, and I think that is an absolutely genius idea. Whoever came up with that, patent that, because that is an awesome idea. But in any regard, the reason why I wanted to let you know that we're doing something is because I was in my car and I was listening to some old school hip hop, and I thought to myself, you know what, we need to talk about something that I've been running into a lot lately. I'm 36 years old and I look good. But even though I'm 36 years old, my love for hip-hop is steeped in 1974 to about 1991, all right? And I've noticed that when I talk to kids, and by kids I mean anyone under the age of 30, when I talk to these cats, they say old school hip hop, they're quoting people from like the middle 90s. And they're like, old school? Yeah, I listen to, Nas, and I listen to Common, and yeah, those old school joints. And I'm like, no, I'm talking about like dinosaur school. I want the old school, Africa Bambaataa, Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, Cool Herc, all those cats, Beastie Boys. So, I watched this documentary on Netflix the other day, and it's called I Want My Name Back. And it's a fantastic documentary where it covers basically the birth of hip-hop. In that it trails the rise and fall of the Sugar Hill Gang. Now, if you don't know who the Sugar Hill Gang is, then you shouldn't be watching this. Really, you shouldn't be watching this. But you should probably go on Wikipedia, then watch this video afterwards and find out who they are. You have heard their classic song of Rapper's Delight. But little did you know the story as to what the heck happened to the Sugar Hill Gang after they had a string of hits. What happened to them, and how basically right now they're basically fighting to be able to be the Sugar Hill Gang. It's a really fascinating story, but based on that documentary, I'm not going to go into depth about it. I just want you to watch it. We might do a little podcast from the couch item, but the thing that I got out of that was that when I talk to kids about hip hop, and I bring up all these old school players, and they may or may not have heard of them, but they've never sat down and actually listened to them. And that bugs the hell out of me, because it's kind of like, they're like, oh yeah, it's old school, don't really listen to that. And I'm like, dude, all your cats, the cats that you love, are influenced by these guys, so maybe you should listen to them. Now, I used to be the same way about rock and roll. Like, I would refuse, in the 90s, to listen to anything past 1990. Like, I was just like, I'm not interested. Yeah, I know that, Pearl Jam is influenced heavily by 70s rock, but I really don't care. And as I've gotten older, I've finally been like, that's why I should have listened. And I wish I had the chance to listen to them earlier before I just went idiotically into playing music and not really understanding where it was coming from. So, in any regard, I want to have this podcast. I want to put this podcast together with a friend of mine. She and I were talking about this, about how important it is for us to educate the youth on early hip-hop and how we relate back to it and why it's important. So stay tuned for that. Just want to give you a heads up on there. If there are any like old school hip-hop acts that you follow still, let me know. Love to do some pieces on them. I'm thinking about inviting some of them onto the show, so I think that would be a great way of sharing and educating the youth and letting them know what's going on. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, check us out online, and I will talk to you later. Thank you.